Well, welcome back. So,
Look where we are.
We have an interesting video today because a year and a half ago we released a video that we kind of talked about, what was it, gear that we no longer use.
Yeah, gear we bring and never use.
Yeah. And then it kind of turned into like gear we don't really see the need for anymore, stuff like that. And we still get asked questions about our evolution of gear and like what's constantly changing. And you know, we do our gear videos every year, talk about our standard, you know, packing lists and what's in our big three and all that fun stuff. But backed by popular demand, we're gonna revisit this situation because we keep getting asked, and I think we've had an evolution still. Yeah. So let's cover some, what is it, 5 items that we no longer...
Oh, it's more than 5.
It's more than 5. All right, so we can't do the 5 items video.
No, can't do the 5 items. So this is going to be gear that we just don't really see the need for anymore. You know?
Yeah, maybe in certain circumstances, but right now...
But gear we bring, and we've been bringing it, and we just don't see the need for it, so we're probably going to stop bringing it.
Yep.
So I think we're going to kick it off. We're going to talk about stuff sacks.
Yeah, so, you know... Kevin and I are a big believer in like the Cuban or Dyneema, you know, roll top dry bags and different stuff sacks and stuff. And these are great. And we've used these for years and years and years. You know, this is a Z-Packs one. This is a really, really old one made by...
It's an old one.
I think it was made by Mountain Fitter, or which was now Lawson.
Oh.
Lawson Outdoors. Way back in the day. And they're great. They're waterproof. They're durable. But you know, our Z-Packs arc hauls, you know, they're really water resistant.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing with these Cuban blended packs now, is like they're not waterproof, but they're pretty water resistant.
So you get some, you know, water resistance there, and then, you know, we're really digging the Nylaflume or just the pack liner concept in general.
Or the last 2 overnights, I've just shoved all my quilts in the bottom of my pack.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no rain in the forecast.
Yeah, I mean, I think for longer trips, you know, having
you wouldn't want to do that for longer trips.
Having the ability to separate out, you know, gear from potentially wet gear you're shoving in your pack is going to be good. But you know, we're really digging the pack liner concept right now. We've done it in the past.
Yeah.
But it never really stuck. But I've been using these Nylaflume pack liners, of course, like, you know, the trash compactor bags, everything like that. They work just great. It's lighter, it's cheaper.
It's just easier. It takes less time.
It's easier, it takes less time. It's not nearly as durable. It's not nearly as durable.
It's cheaper though.
But yeah, so we've been moving towards the pack liner. I've been using it for a while. Really like it. That's not to say there's not a place for these. You know, we're considering some canoe trips, and if we go do a little bit more canoe tripping, I'm gonna make sure my stuff is way more waterproof than just a pack liner.
Yeah.
So.
But in general, we're gonna move away towards having a bunch of different stuff sacks. It's just after you break down camp 100 times, you just start looking for things that are easier, and it's just easier to throw stuff in your pack.
Yep.
Okay, next item. So when we first started backpacking, like in addition to soft-sided water flasks, like Camelback hydration packs were big. We used to use those. We're done with hydration bladders. We're done with standalone soft-sided water bags, unless there are dirty water bags.
Yeah, we're still a big, you know, with the Sawyer squeezes that we use, we do need to have like a dirty water bag. You could do the thing with, you know, where you put it on a bottle, and that's fine and all, but we will continue to use soft-sided, you know, water bags for dirty water for the Sawyers. But you know, you've used the platypus.
I have these platypus 1 liter bags.
Yeah, and this is the Evernew one. It doesn't get used anymore.
Yeah, there's a pain. You gotta dry them out when you get home, and
they're easy. They're harder to clean.
They're much harder to clean. They can break easier.
They're not necessarily lighter than, like, you know, your standard smart water bottles.
No.
So another thing that's kind of like a little gripe by me is that these are kind of harder to mix like drink additives in.
Yeah, they're harder to fill too.
A little bit harder to fill. Just your regular water bottles, you know, of course the smart water ones are the most popular. They're just easier.
They're cheaper. You just go
easier, cheaper.
Go to a gas station and buy a bottle of water.
Yeah, and when these get gross, you just put them in the recycling. When these get gross,
I don't know what you do with those.
I don't know. Yeah.
So other than dirty water storage, we're moving away from any sort of soft-sided water. And then there's the whole, if it punctures, if it leaks, if it breaks, it's probably higher likelihood on the soft-sided flasks, but we're done with those. Next item, we say we're moving away from it, but we used it on our last trip extensively, but that's because we had to because of the fire ban. We are generally, for the most part, done with canister stoves. Now, I've been using one lately because I have a can of gas I've had for like 3 years, and I'm just sick of it, so I'm trying to use it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to take them on the overnights to do some fun cooking with.
They're good for car camping.
Yeah, they definitely have their place. They're quick. Gets the job done really fast, but I don't like carrying these cans of gas.
The cans are a pain, they're heavy, they're loud.
Yeah, and we prefer alcohol. You will still see us from time to time
when we have to
use canister stoves, but we try to we really don't like them.
We moved away from them.
Yeah, we moved away from for a while, but we did go back and forth a little bit, but for now, canister stoves going back in the storage bin.
Going back. Okay, next item. Maybe controversial, but we're, for the most part, done carrying physical maps. Now, there's always going to be, a situation where we might bring one if we're going somewhere super new. But we're almost always backpacking together, which means we have 2 separate GPS systems on our phones, and the odds of both of them going down, plus we both have GPS watches. So we effectively have 4 GPS devices with maps loaded on them. So for the most part, there's no reason to carry physical maps anymore. Now, never ever say never ever, but
I mean, there are certain places where you need to have a physical map, and
and if you're going solo, I would.
Yeah, and there are definitely places where you cannot get GPS maps available for them.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt. Typically in the past when we've planned big trips, first thing we'll do is get on Amazon and order maps for it, or start doing research. We don't necessarily need to do that anymore.
No, we just download them now.
Yeah, we'll just download them, and now obviously there are places where you have to have a physical map. And like Kevin said, maybe if you're solo,
I would certainly,
just for safety concerns.
I'd certainly bring a physical map.
Yeah. So.
We always bring them.
We always bring them.
Never use them.
Never use them. Yeah.
Because we just have our phones, which have GPS or watches or whatever.
And it's crazy. When we go to Dolly Sods, we've taken physical maps, but they're worthless.
They're worthless. The phone GPS. I mean, the fact that with the GPS device, where you are on that map. I mean, it makes these almost obsolete. So yeah, last time I went to Dolly Sods, we brought a physical map. Didn't use it once because we had to use the phone GPS. So another item, unless there's some sort of special circumstance, we're done with physical maps.
Yep.
Okay, this next item was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
So we got these Vargo titanium ascent stakes, and I'm not ripping on Vargo specifically, but I've been pretty underimpressed with titanium stakes.
Yeah, titanium stakes in general have been kind of crappy.
So if you can see, they bend. This stake bends like wind bent that. They bend really easily. They're not that much lighter, if lighter at all, than normal stakes. And then certainly those titanium shepherd hook stakes.
Shepherd's hook, yeah.
Don't even try. So we're moving away. We're going back to a groundhog style aluminum stake, or maybe a carbon fiber stake.
Yeah, we've saw. It's an interesting evolution because when I first started out backpacking, I had the big aluminum stakes, and then I get lighter, and then I started buying titanium stakes. The shepherd's hook, and then the shepherd's hook. They were fine for the tent that I was using at the time, but then
when hammocks and tarps, you need more.
And then we started hammocking, and the shepherd's hooks were not strong enough.
You need a lot more strength for a tarp than a tent.
Yeah, and then we bought a little bit bulkier of the stakes for the tarps, but these things are just soft as butter.
They're soft, they bend, they're kind of hard to get into the ground. Now what I really like about this stake is this little piece of cordage right here. It's fantastic. I mean,
it's just
it's glow wire too, so you can see it at night, so I love this. But we're moving away from titanium stakes, going back to groundhogs, maybe carbon fiber. I'm intrigued by carbon fiber stakes. But yeah, you can see, I mean, that bent That's just from wind, right?
And that's an example of one that's kind of still normal looking.
You can still use it.
All of our other ones are just, and once they hit like hard ground, they just crinkle up.
Yeah.
So I already have some groundhogs laying around that I've actually been bringing a few of them on trips for honestly the last year, but I think I'm making the official decision to get rid of them and go back to probably the MSR groundhogs or the mini groundhogs or something like that. Those are great steaks, and these titanium ones just aren't working out.
You need a good steak. When you're using a tarp on a tree system with wind, you need some good steaks.
Yep.
Okay, next item. We don't physically have it with us. We started using a Sawyer Mini, and we continue to use a Sawyer Mini in certain situations. Like we had a camp sink setup we used a Sawyer Mini for.
Yeah, we had it in like
we started with the Sawyer Mini.
It was in like a gravity system, and we weren't in a hurry, so the Mini was okay for that.
We're done with the Mini. We're done with it.
Yeah.
Get the Sawyer squeeze. It's not that much heavier, it's not that much more expensive, and the flow rate is like, I don't know, several times what a Mini is, but we used the Mini for a while, and then even when we got the squeeze, we still use the Mini in like certain situations, but we're done with the Sawyer Mini. And anyone else considering a Sawyer Mini, just get a squeeze.
Don't even play around.
Just get a squeeze. All right, last item here. If you watched any of our like big trips like Isle Royale or Colorado, on those trips we generally bring some sort of preventative, some sort of ankle thing. So Andy brings an ankle brace, I bring an ace bandage. I brought it on all those trips. I've never used it. We bring LK tape with us or Leuco tape with us, which can probably do what that would do.
I've also got some KT tape in my
He's got KT tape, and there's also stuff called rock tape, which I'm probably going to get and bring. All of this stuff is smaller, lighter, generally cheaper than braces and bandages, so I'm done carrying that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to carry something because I'm injured all the time.
We're going to carry something. Rock tape is like really famous. It's really like hot. It's really hot right now.
So hot right now.
So there's rock tape, there's there's KT tape, and there's Leuco tape. All these tapes, we've had fantastic advances in tape technology. There's no reason to carry these anymore. So we're done with the bandages and the braces.
Yeah, and to be fair, like there is a reason we're carrying them.
Yeah, we roll our ankles a lot.
All the freaking time.
Yeah. But when you get really good with trekking poles, it helps with that, and I don't know. Our last couple trips, we haven't had any ankle issues.
Yeah, knee issues, but unrelated to backpacking. Actually, all my injuries have been related to running.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to have something, but we'll be moving towards tape.
Tape will get the job done, and then tape has other functions you can use it for, and that aren't just like biomechanical.
Yeah.
So. That's it. I mean, that's it for this installation. We really thought about I think it's been almost a year and a half since we shot that video, and we just thought about, there's our gear setups are constantly evolving. They're always changing based on what we're doing and new things that come out and the trips we're going on. So that's just a quick look back at what's happened in the last, year and a half and what we're not carrying anymore. So thanks for watching. Let us know what you all are sick of carrying and aren't going to carry anymore.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get flamed about the map thing. So.
Yeah, the only caveat there is if you're going by yourself, you want to have redundant, location technology, if you will. So you want to have a physical map and backup. That's the only, and we're always going with people, and we always have multiple stuff. And then someone ultimately always does have a physical map, but we're not carrying it anymore. So. Yeah. That's it. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see everybody on the next one.